Cardinal Law is being remembered largely for his inaction, he was a powerful voice for action, too, in his early days on issues ranging from AIDS to education, racial inequality. Many who met him said he had an accessible approach. He wrote and spoke eloquently, and he made himself available to both the people and the press in ways no previous cardinal had ever done. WGBH News special correspondent Emily Rooney has more.
He came from a small town in Missouri named Hope, and originally that's what he offered us.
The apostolic delegate reminded me last night that after Boston, there's only heaven.
He was charming and charismatic.
I needed to have you help me write the sermon.
All right. At first, the media melted in his presence.
I want to express my deep appreciation to the media. I hope and I pray that a false expectation is not set up so that a subsequent disappointment will set in.
From the beginning, Cardinal Law reached out, building a strong relationship with Boston's Jewish community and forging bonds with the state's most powerful politicians and businessmen.
I thank you all for coming. The governor, the legislature, from the Jewish community.
And he used his magnetic and sometimes self-deprecating appeal to wow his audiences.
You may not like who I am as much as you like who you think I am.
Unlike his predecessors, Cardinal Law dared step into the political arena, calling abortion a darkness where he and the Catholic Church needed to shed light.
This is life. This is human life. This is not some weird Catholic notion out of the Middle Ages.
He traveled extensively, touched by the plight of people ravished by both natural disaster and political foment.
The rhetoric of his government is that it is not a hardcore Marxist state. No, it acts like one.
He dared take on powerful institutions, going so far as to call the Boston Globe anti-Catholic because of things written in its opinion pages.
The Globe has chosen to deal with that at some levels of its bureaucracy by simply declaring that the church doesn't exist, and it does, and it'll be around a long, long time.
In truth, his undoing could be heard in his own words, if only he had listened.
The darkness must be named. We cannot tolerate the false notion that it can be yes in some aspects of our life and no in others.
That was special correspondent Emily Rooney reporting, and it's easy to see why from that piece going up against law and the church was such an imposing challenge for so many, maybe the most powerful institution in Boston, as you just heard. But even today, so many years later, the anger is fresh for survivors of church abuse and for their families.
Cardinal Law's death does not bring closure to anyone. His death just brings back all of the pain and the suffering that he himself allowed to happen.
He never fully addressed the crisis. He never reached out to us. The Vatican, straight down to the bottom, they're still not doing enough.
When the gates of hell fling open, I hope they stay open for the rest of the Catholic institution and the people who enabled this to happen.